India, the land of endless possibilities, home to 1 billion lives and the world's fastest growing economy. The Indian economy is experiencing an exponential boom and is expanding every industrial sector that forms a part of it, bringing along a host of opportunities and making India a promising destination for investments from companies all across the globe. India is the 6th largest economy in the world, poised to become the 3rd largest by 2030, and its global energy demand set to more than double by 2040. Ensuing to its meteoric growth patterns, this 3rd largest consumer of energy worldwide and the 4th largest importer of liquefied natural gas, LNG, is moving on an upward curve. With a projected 2-fold increase in oil demand from 5 million barrels per day in 2018 to 9 million barrels per day by 2040, and a forecasted increase in consumption of natural gas at a CAGR of 10% from 54 BCM in 2017 to reach 450 BCM by 2040, these numbers are only set to grow, making India a booming land of innumerable advantages.
Energy is a key driver of socio-economic growth. Stable and sustainable energy supply is essential for rapid growth of the economy.
India has just experienced its fastest rate of energy consumption for more than a decade, and on current trends, it will more than double from today's levels from 2040. More than that, India has all the right resources above the ground and below the ground. It has relationships in place to maximize those resources.
The forum highlights the central role of India in the global energy industry, and at the same time, the opportunities and the challenges facing India, how it fits into the global market as it moves to become a $5 trillion economy.
As an economy's expansion relies heavily on its energy demand and consumption, it is the oil and gas sector that plays a significant role in enabling tangible growth in the process. The Indian government, recognizing this fact, has been tirelessly working towards making every effort to be ahead of its energy demands at all times, enhancing energy security, along with providing global players with the most favorable opportunities to invest in the sector. Following a two-pronged approach to further strengthen and expand its upstream segment, the Indian government is developing and investing in oil and gas fields within the country and abroad. The Government of India has also approved fiscal incentives to attract investments and technology to improve recovery from oil and gas fields, which is expected to lead to hydrocarbon production worth $745 billion in the next 20 years. The year 2016 saw various encouraging policies being introduced for easy administration of hydrocarbon exploration contracts. Cost recovery was replaced with a revenue-sharing model in the health policy. The health policy offers uniform license for exploration and production of all forms of hydrocarbons, with reduced royalty rates to encourage exploration of new hydrocarbon fields. 87 blocks were awarded under 3 rounds of OALP, covering 1,18,280 square kilometers. 56 small and marginal fields with estimated hydrocarbon reserves of 256.6 MMT oil and oil equivalent gas were made available for exploration and production under Discovered Small Fields policy. India is generating a lot of interest worldwide in its oil and gas operations. ExxonMobil will offer its expertise and technology to India's biggest state-owned explorer, ONGC, to help develop its resources in offshore blocks. ONGC and ExxonMobil will also jointly identify areas to submit bids for more exploration assets in India. In order to further encourage exploration of less explored areas like Category 2 and Category 3 basins, share of profit will not be charged on hydrocarbons produced from these areas. It is expected that the area under hydrocarbon exploration in the country is set to double to 300,000 square kilometers by March 2020 as per new seismic data, and is likely to draw more investors. Further, in addition to its existing strategic petroleum reserves, the government is building 2 more SPRs, at Chandikhol in Odisha and Padur in Karnataka to increase its crude storage reserves, in turn opening up storage opportunities for oil-producing nations. India's rising oil consumption has also led to a contingent increase in its refining capacity. With a refining capacity of approximately 250 million tons, today India stands as Asia's second largest and the world's fourth largest refiner. This expansion has also led to the development of various downstream activities, resulting in a 20% increase in investments in the segment. 100% of FDI allowed in the refining sector under the automatic route is another significant factor that leads to greater room for investments. As part of other initiatives aiding this boom, world's largest integrated refinery and petrochemicals complex of 60 MMTPA capacity is planned to be built on the west coast in Maharashtra, with ADNOC and Saudi Aramco holding 50% share. With an aim to gain access to the fast-growing Indian market, Saudi Aramco is also making an investment of $15 billion in the oil-to-chemicals business of Reliance Petroleum. Fuel retailing norms have also been eased by the government to attract new players in the market and increase competition.
India had taken a lead in addressing these issues of energy access. In our success, I see hope for the world that problems of energy availability can be suitably addressed. India's contribution in the onset of an era based on energy justice is significant.
In a bid to empower those at the bottom of the pyramid sections of our society, the Government of India has provided LPG connections to 80 million households under the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana, therefore enabling 96% of Indian households to have LPG access. To support this massive surge in LPG penetration and to make LPG available across the country, the oil marketing companies Indian Oil, HPCL and BPCL are connecting the eastern part of the country to the west coast through construction of the world's longest LPG pipeline, the Kandla-Gorakhpur pipeline. And with a focus on reaching energy to the last mile, Pradhan Mantri Har Ghar Bijli Yojana, Saubhagya, has ensured electrification of rural homes. Of 26.04 million households targeted under the scheme, 99.93% households have been electrified. In an endeavor to transition India into a gas-based economy and to ensure the availability of cleaner, more affordable fuel to every household, the government has invested in a robust pipeline network that runs across the length and breadth of the country. The current natural gas pipeline infrastructure is being doubled under the Pradhan Mantri Urja Ganga project and will serve a multitude of cities within the country. A multitude of infrastructural activities are on in the various parts of the country to fast-track development of City Gas Distribution Network or CGD across the country. Up to the 10th CGD bidding round, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board, PNGRB, has authorized 228 GAs covering 406 districts spread over 27 states and union territories, covering approximately 70% of India's population and 53% of its geographical area for development of CGD network. Owing to the rapidly expanding CGD network, the number of CNG stations and PNG connections in the cities and rural areas are also set to see a significant boost. The very boost that makes the Indian economy ripe for investments. India, along with establishing its prowess as an emerging energy hub, is also equally responsible towards the environment that energizes it, caring for it by adopting environment-friendly processes and sustainable methods. The research and development departments of all major oil and gas companies are working towards developing indigenous products and technologies that are environmentally friendly and prevent contributions to air, water and land pollution. A major thrust is being given to exploring alternative forms of energy such as biofuels that have low emissions, 2G and 3G ethanol blended fuels, biogas and compressed natural gas as forms of cleaner, more affordable fuels. India's major oil marketing companies are setting up 12 second-generation ethanol plants across the country to convert agricultural waste into bioethanol for consumption. Around 5,000 compressed biogas plants, along with compressed natural gas plants, are being planned to be set up at a cost of over $1.1 billion.
India enjoyed its fastest growth in renewables for more than a decade last year. Consumption of renewable energy is set to surge by around 14 times over the next 2 decades. It has large solar and wind resources out there still untapped, and prices are falling fast versus coal. India has great opportunities with gas, too, which is the ideal partner for renewables.
India is also aggressively working on increasing the share of renewables in its energy mix. By 2022, the country plans to have an installed capacity of 175 GW of renewable energy, and this goal has been increased to 450 GW by 2030. India values its strategic ties with other countries. In furtherance of the same, for its contribution to global and regional energy security, building bridges to the emerging economies of Asia, and reshaping traditional business models, Dr. Sultan Al Jaber, Minister of State and Group Chief Executive of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company, was presented with International Lifetime Achievement Award at Petrotech 2019. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi was honored with the Order of Zayed, the UAE's highest civilian award by Abu Dhabi's Crown Prince. Petronet LNG Limited has signed an MOU with Tellurian of US and will invest $2.5 billion in Tellurian's proposed Driftwood LNG export terminal in exchange for the rights to 5 million metric tons of LNG per year for over 40 years. India and Nepal recently inaugurated the first ever cross-border petroleum product pipeline in South Asia. India and Bangladesh signed a pact for importing LPG from Bangladesh. India and Russia have also decided to widen their trade, investment and energy partnerships to jointly develop oil and gas fields in Russia and India, including offshore fields. Indian oil and gas companies have strategic presence in many countries such as USA, UAE, Russia, Mozambique and many others. These ties will benefit India and allies in forming partnerships that are favorable and dependable.
India will be the key driver of global energy demand in the coming decades. We have taken several measures to overhaul the hydrocarbon policy framework to ensure investor-friendly environment. I invite the global industry to become partners in our progress and tap huge investment opportunities available in the energy sector of India.
India possesses a rich pool of skilled labor that is both productive and efficient. With the help of various projects and initiatives, this young, talented workforce is continuously being trained for upgradation of knowledge and to benefit the global industry. With this set of right skills, latest technological advancements in the sector, and unbound capabilities to build an entire ecosystem from the base level, India is gearing to expand onto 1 billion dreams for its global alliances. EIL is soon starting work on the 1.5 MMTPA, $1.2 billion Mongolian refinery project, which is expected to be completed by 2022. Another facet adding to the boost is the Industrial Revolution 4.0 and its impact on the oil and gas sector. With increased digitization and advanced data analytics, India is working with AI-equipped technologies that will reduce risk and improve production of materials. Supply chain automation and enhanced capacities to evaluate geological data by digitization are aiding exploration companies to have more relevant and precise information about exploration sites, leading to better output. Continuous efforts are being made by the Indian government to encourage foreign investment in the Indian market and increase healthy participation of foreign players, as a result of which India's ease of doing business ranking has jumped from being 142 in 2014 to 63 in 2019. Foreign investors will have opportunities to invest in projects worth $240 billion in India, as the country looks to cut dependence on oil imports by 10% by the year 2022. Time and again, India has brought to the world a brand new way of looking at things and innovations that have been the starting point of revolutions. With its perfect balance of knowledge and skills, this mighty land of power, faith and belief has invariably added to the world a new dimension. With a surge of continuous momentum in the oil and gas sector, backed by synergy and energy brought in by the companies across the entire hydrocarbon value chain in India, the future holds a world of opportunities to establish, invest and enable through innovations and collaborations. Welcome to New India. Advantage India.